There are moments in life when we feel lost, when the weight of the world seems unbearable, and when we believe that nothing could possibly change. But sometimes, a single act of kindness can shift everything, not just for us, but for the world around us. Meet Amit. Once full of hope and dreams, he now found himself at the lowest point of his life. A series of personal losses, career setbacks, and broken relationships had left him feeling empty, disconnected from everyone around him. He had isolated himself from friends and family, believing he wasn't worth their attention. In his eyes, the world was a place where dreams didn't come true. Amit went through his days mechanically, waking up, working, coming home, only to face another lonely night. He had forgotten what it felt like to truly connect, to feel valued, or even to care. And the worst part? He didn't think anyone noticed. One day, in the middle of his routine, something unexpected happened. Amit stepped into a bookstore, hoping to distract himself from the silence. He wandered through the aisles when something caught his eye. An old, worn book. He opened it and began to read the first page, lost in the words that seemed to speak directly to his heart. It was then that Mrs. Patel, a woman in her late 60s who had spent years running the small bookstore, noticed Amit. She didn't know his story, but she saw a look in his eyes, a kind of sadness, a heavy burden. She walked over to him, quietly offering him a simple greeting. "I see you found something that speaks to you." Sometimes, a good book can be the beginning of a new chapter. It wasn't the words themselves that struck Amit, but the kindness in her voice. It was as if, for the first time in ages, someone had actually noticed him. Not the broken, lonely version of him, but the person he once was. Mrs. Patel, with no expectation of anything in return, simply smiled and offered him a warm cup of tea. In that small moment, something shifted in Amit's heart. He had been expecting nothing but solitude, yet here he was, embraced by the kindness of a stranger. It was a kindness that seemed so simple, yet so profound. A single gesture that made him feel seen, heard, and cared for, even for a brief moment. Amit left the bookstore that day with more than just a book. He left with a renewed sense of hope. He realized that the world hadn't given up on him, and neither had he. He could choose to begin again. He could choose to embrace kindness, not only from others, but from within himself. Amit's transformation didn't happen overnight, but every day he made small changes. He returned to the bookstore, not just for the books, but for the conversations, for the comfort of Mrs. Patel's company. He started volunteering at a local shelter, offering help where he could. He started listening to people, truly hearing them, and offering a helping hand when someone was in need. Amit's life began to change in ways he never expected. The kindness he had received became the catalyst for him to pay it forward. It became a ripple effect, small acts of kindness that not only transformed his life, but the lives of those around him. Months passed, and Amit became a different person, healthier, happier, more engaged with the world around him. One day, he returned to the bookstore with flowers in his hands, a simple gift to thank the woman who had unknowingly set his transformation in motion. "I don't know how to thank you for what you've done for me. Your kindness saved me. You reminded me that no one is invisible, and that I'm worthy of kindness and of love. You didn't need to be saved, dear. You just needed to remember who you are. And that kindness, it's always been within you." Amit's journey shows us that sometimes the smallest act of kindness can set a chain of transformation in motion. Kindness has the power to heal, to restore, and to remind us of our worth. It is in these simple acts that the world begins to change, not just for us, but for everyone we encounter. You don't need to wait for a grand moment to make a difference. Sometimes, all it takes is one kind word, one small gesture, to change someone's world forever. The kindness you give today might be the light someone else needs tomorrow. Remember, kindness has the power to change everything. And it starts with you. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need a reminder of the power of kindness. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that inspire hope and change.